Hey guys, I hope this is working. I'm doing this a different way for this episode. It is very late, so I don't want to do a whole bunch of post-production work while I do this. But anyways, let me do this properly. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Otaku Experience over here on the Burnettwork. I'm of course your host Israel. On this episode, we're going to discuss what looks like the end of Studio Gainax. They've filed for bankruptcy. We're going to talk about the upcoming lineup for Anime Expo 2024 and some other stuff that has to do mainly with manga. And then, we'll get into the other stuff of the show. First things first, Rob is live right now while I do this. How you doing, Rob?
1001, Johnny. I talked to Ultraman. And actually, I missed this one. Have you seen this YouTube video by journalist Anthony Gramuglia on bad film criticism?
Wise words from Rob. No, love that guy. Love that guy. He's great. Anyways, you're not. I mean, you're on the Burnettwork, so you are here to watch him. But this is a different show. You can watch this stream if you want. I doubt you'd want to watch this stream that he's doing with me in the corner. You just want to watch full unadulterated Rob. So you should go and do that. But anyways, we're gonna get into our stories here, and I mean, there's no real way to kind of segue into this. Oh, first. We have I almost said we have a Spotify. We have a podcast now. So you guys should go and check out the Otaku Experience podcast over on Spotify. If I can copy and paste this link up here. Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can get this open. Sorry, this is what happens when we do this candidly. This is with no edits, guys. I don't know how Rob does this. I feel so unprofessional. But anyways, look at that. Bow. And look, I'm pretty proud of it. I think it looks cool. Okay, wait. Well, I guess it doesn't look like anything. It's a podcast, but it sounds cool. I like it. Anyways, so, if you want to listen to the show rather than watch, or maybe you're unable to watch the show, you can listen to it that way. But anyways, it's late. I'm tired. I was going to say you're tired, but this isn't live, so you could be watching this at any time. You might be tired. You may have just woken up. You might be going to sleep. You might be listening to my soothing, sultry voice as you get ready for bed. But anyway, that's something Rob would do, and Rob's really good at that. But anyways, we're going to get into the stories here, starting with a really sad one, actually. And that's that Studio Gainax, or I guess Gainax. I don't really know how to pronounce it. I think it's Gainax. They have filed for bankruptcy. Now, if you don't know who Studio Gainax is here, as you can see, Studio Gainax is primarily known for the anime of Evangelion, or Evangelion, however you want to say it. And that's mainly their flagship show. Over on my anime list here, we can see that they have some other stuff, but this is sorted by their most popular shows. So obviously, the top is Evangelion. Then there's Panty and Stocking, FLCL, Medica Box, but I mean, and Gurren Lagann. But they're known for Evangelion, which that's a great thing to be known for. Like one of the staples and most well-known anime of all time. Oh yeah, I'll take that, please. Yeah, I'll be known for Lord of the Rings. That's kind of the equivalent here, but they are filing for bankruptcy. In the article I'm using as my source for this is from Anime News Network, where they say co-founder Hideaki Anno's current studio, Kara, acquires Gainax's trademark. If I can say it one way, that'd be great. Anime studio Gainax announced on its website on Friday that it filed for bankruptcy in the Tokyo District Court on May 29th. The bankruptcy proceedings are happening just short of the studio's 40th anniversary in December. And then here's Gainax's statement. In its statement on Friday, Gainax explained that its financial situation worsened starting in 2012 due to various factors, including managing a restaurant that did not meet projections, establishing a mismanaged a CG company, giving large unsecured loans to executives, and running its business operations as if it was a small personal venture. And if you go to my anime list, that's something you can kind of see, is that they kind of just like fall off the face of the earth after a point. Like they just stop making shows. And when they do make a show, it's either not watched at all or it's not liked. And sometimes both. So we have shows here, like this is their latest thing, Suna no Akari, right? If we click on this, we open it up. This was back in 2017. Now, granted, it was a short, but still. Let's see if we can actually find an anime. Okay, this looks like one. So, okay, so this was in 2015. You know, and okay, this is like a modest little thing. Like, so this is a show that, you know, some people watched, but not like a big seasonal like show where everybody got around the water cooler and was talking about it. Wasn't that well reviewed. Now you have to remember, this is my anime list where anything below a 7 means it's bad because people don't know how to use rating systems over here. That's what happens in the anime fandom. So, you know, and then you can just see from these scores, like, okay, the last thing they had that was above a 7 was Medica Box Abnormal, and that was, like the article was saying, back in 2012. So they definitely slowed down their production after 2012 because they said, they were focusing on other ventures. And then when they did delve back into anime, it either wasn't watched, it wasn't reviewed well, or both. And, you know, when you're doing that and then you're also not really focusing on your anime, that and you're focusing on other business ventures that are failing, it doesn't surprise me that this is happening the way that it is. Gainax said that due to massive debts incurred by management, it was removed from production committees after not paying royalties, and it was sued for debts and other matters. During this worsening financial situation, many affiliated companies were established under the Gainax name in regional areas, which led to many resignations of Gainax itself and the resulting loss of its capability to produce animation as a studio. These companies later declared that they were not related to the main Gainax studio, with Gainax claiming these companies relinquished their administrative responsibilities. Gainax's statement also claimed that Tomohiro Maki, who had been its head since 1992, transferred shares to a person with no knowledge of filmmaking production in 2018, a move that had the approval of management at the time. Maki was then arrested in December 2019 for semi-coerced indecent acts, causing the company to completely lose its ability to operate while still being saddled with a large amount of debt. So you can just see, it's just like a snowball effect that's just building and building and building. That this was just kind of inevitable. After Gainax revamped its management team in February 2020, the company stated it began reviewing documents to fully understand its situation, alongside the studio Kara as a creditor. The companies discovered large amounts of borrowing from financial institutions, defaults on debts to companies in the animation industry, and the sales and transfers of intellectual property and production materials to other companies and individuals without the permission of the original rights holders. Gainax stated its management worked with Kara and other companies and production committees to confirm the rights of the works and properly manage the IP and scattered materials. However, Gainax stated that it has been unable to resolve its large amount of debt, and after it was sued by a debt collection company in May, the company decided that it could no longer continue as a business and filed for bankruptcy. And then the article continues, and it kind of gives Kara's statement, and then, you know, some history of Gainax. So if you are interested in that, I do recommend. We use a lot of different sources on the Otaku Experience, but Anime News Network is my favorite. They're the most professional. They're the most concise. So I do love, when I can, I usually opt to have Anime News Network be the source of a story. It's not to say that the other ones are bad, but this is my favorite one. There's like no ads. It's the best. But anyways, as you can see, like, it just sucks the way that is. Now, that's not to say that, you know, that I guess Gainax, in terms of its spirit, can't live on in some sort of way. It can, you know, like if you know, as they go bankrupt, if like maybe like different parts of it, like unofficially, are kind of bought and then are sold and then are taken, you know, where it's like, this technically isn't a part of Gainax because the studio is going down, but, you know, it's like the same group of people, you know, and they get hired or whatever. You could have different elements like that where the studio could kind of live on, or the studio could just end as a whole. And like I said, you know, when you're running a company like this, this is like death by 1,000 cuts. So we saw that they were just doing all of these little things. They were doing different business ventures. Then they got a new head of the studio. Then we saw how that played out. And then we saw that they stopped doing anime. And then when they did delve into anime, it wasn't a quality product. And then over time, that was 2012 that the problem started. So it's been 12 years. At least 11 or 12 years at this point. That I mean, at that point, it builds up, and it's not a surprise that this has happened. It's a sad reality. I don't think that when people think about Gainax, they're going to think about these last 12 years. I think that they're going to primarily think about Evangelion and the glory days, and Gurren Lagann and things like that, which they should. I think that, and I would hope that Studio Gainax would go down in a happier light rather than a tragic light. Because, it is a shame when this stuff happens, but at the same time, if you don't run your business well, your business is going to go down. So what are your guys' thoughts on Studio Gainax filing for bankruptcy and ending, or at least seemingly so? Like I said, something could happen where Gainax in some form, some way could live on, even just like spiritually. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are on that. So another thing that's going on is Anime Expo, the big anime event that happens every year where studios will show up, they'll debut premieres, they'll premiere movies, they'll release trailers, they'll announce shows, whole bunch of stuff that I believe is hosted by Crunchyroll is happening again this year, because like I said, it's one of the biggest events of the year. And they have announced their upcoming slate and lineup. This comes to us from Anime Trending. If I can get this to load. Hold on. I'm gonna move myself over here out of the way. There we go. So we can read it. Okay, so I'm going to look this way, but it's over. Okay. Crunchyroll has announced a massive lineup of new panels and anime premieres at Anime Expo 2024, along with several film and series acquisitions. The convention is expected to take place in Los Angeles, California at the LA Convention Center from July 4th, 2024 to July 7th, 2024. Over 20 panels and premieres are expected to be presented by Crunchyroll during the Anime Expo weekend, which will feature the announcement of new episodes, series, and seasons coming to Crunchyroll later on. Some of the most anticipated premieres of the I don't care. Okay, then we get down to like what's actually going on. So we have the Bocchi the Rock compilation films part 1 and 2, which is essentially they're just gonna be it, like they say here, a 2-part recap film. This doesn't matter. Go watch the show. Don't watch the recap movies. Go watch the show instead and enjoy it that way. So we're gonna not talk about that. Then here's the big one. This is the big thing everybody's talking about. The Re:Zero season 3 premiere is happening at Anime Expo this year, and it is also confirmed to have a 90-minute premiere. So this is what we're going to get when this show actually does premiere on Crunchyroll. We're going to get a 90-minute premiere. Now, whether that's going to air like Oshinoko did, where it's like one long stretch of one episode, or it's going to air like Frieren did, where it's like a bunch of smaller episodes, but they all released at the exact same time. I mean, that'll be interesting to see. And then also, they can catch a sneak peek at Overlord, the Sacred Kingdom, before it arrives in theaters later this year. And Tower of God Season 2 is also going to be having a thing there. Then rounding out huge premieres from upcoming summer and fall seasons are Arifureta from Commonplace to... Okay. After School, Hanako-kun, MF Ghost Season 2, Tower of God Season 2, Quality Assurance, Another World, and more. And then we're going to have the Solo Leveling Experience, which the game, they just released a game for Solo Leveling, or at least they're about to, and it's the sales it's projected for, dude. are insane. On the show floor, Crunchyroll's largest booth ever, located at, will have a special feature that captures the scenes and sounds of a various hit anime. The Crunchyroll store is setting up shop with more than 70 items, including never before seen Crunchyroll exclusive merchandise. If this is where we're going, if we're going to hear of a Solo Leveling season 2 announcement, I think it's most likely going to be here at Anime Expo. I don't know if they're going to have their own full panel, but I think that this would be the best place to do it, where you can maximize on all of this hype. I mean, maybe they'll just like wait to like announce it maybe in like December or something, and just like let Crunchyroll or Anime News Network or something just announce that news. But I personally would have done it here. Then we have the premieres and stuff. And then join Crunchyroll, no one cares, all the panels down here. And then here's the premieres. We have trailers. So a lot of this doesn't really apply to us because a lot of it is just panels and just fun community stuff. So if you go, that matters. Sometimes we get announcements, but sometimes we don't. And then when we do get an announcement, it's a really cool announcement. But the big thing that everybody has its eye on here is the here's the Jujutsu Kaisen panel. We might get our first trailer at the next season in this. I don't know. I want them to take their break. I want them to let the animators breathe, but odds are we'll probably get something here. But the big thing that everybody's focused on is the ReZero panel, as they should be, because ReZero is going to be premiering a 90-minute premiere, which, you know, most anime episodes, if you remove the opening and the ending, are about 19 minutes. So this is over 4 episodes worth of regular anime length content. Now, granted, ReZero, especially in season 2, became one of those shows that started having an extended runtime, where each episode would be like 25, 26 minutes. And then they would like, basically like they would have an opening and an ending, but the opening and the ending would play over the scenes that are currently going on, rather than like taking a break for the opening and the ending. And sometimes they would have that happen, but ReZero, especially in season 2, became like, we're going to like maximize all of our time, which I do like. I may not have ended up loving season 2. You can hear my thoughts on that in my winter 2021 seasonal review over on my main YouTube channel, but I still am a fan, and I'm still excited because I thought season 2 had a bunch of interesting stuff in it and a ton of potential. I just think they needed to execute it differently. I really like season 1, and so I'm excited for season 3. I'm excited to see what's going on. And hey, you know, if I don't like it, that's okay, because I think the community as a whole is going to love it. And when the community as a whole loves it, I'm happy. If they're happy, I'm happy, because, you know, when we have good anime and popular anime that does well, you know, that's cool. I haven't heard anything really on like a production issue on this show, so I think everything's kind of going smoothly. I mean, it has to be going smoothly. Like, the last season came out in 2021, so they've had their time. So I think that it is, I think that it should be a smooth, steady production, and it should be an interesting season of ReZero season 3. And that's definitely going to be the most popular show of that season, unless there's something else that I'm not thinking of. But anyways, that's the Anime Expo lineup, and we're getting a almost a Transformers. Why am I thinking Transformers? We're going to be getting a ReZero trailer, or not trailer, premiere. I'm tired. It's freaking 2 a.m. I want to go to bed. We're almost there. Okay, so another thing that happened, or something that's been happening, is we have the My Hero Academia manga is still going. It's been going forever and ever and ever and ever. And it looks like it might not be going that much longer. Because according to CBR, I have to zoom it in this much just to avoid the ads, so please forgive me. Since I'm not doing this, you know, I'm not doing pre-stuff and post-stuff, I can't really, like, edit the, I usually will block out the ads and crop stuff out. I'll just take a screenshot and then do it there. But, you know, we're going to have to deal with stuff like this. So But My Hero Academia's manga apparently is now in its epilogue. That's supposed to be big. Epilogue. Okay, great. Dun dun dun. Koei Horikoshi's extremely popular superhero manga, My Hero Academia, is now entering the final stages of its story as revealed in the latest edition of Weekly Shonen Jump magazine. My Hero Academia chapter 423 dropped as part of Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 27, released in Japan on June 2024. It was revealed that chapter 424 was titled Epilogue, formally signaling the beginning of the end for My Hero Academia. Now, here's the goofy thing. Epilogue usually means like after the end. It doesn't mean like okay. It doesn't mean the beginning of the end. It means after the end. Now maybe this is like an epilogue, like maybe like because there's so many characters and stuff that like the author needs like 5 or 6 epilogue chapters to fully wrap stuff up. You know, and I can understand that, but usually epilogue means like the end. Go further beyond. The chapter ended with a callback to the series' popular catchphrase, "Go further beyond." Horikoshi's comment in this week's Jump added that the epilogue wouldn't bring immediate closure, instead teasing that the heroes' school lives would continue for a little bit longer. So I'm not caught up on the manga. I don't read the manga. I watch the show. And so it sounds like after the conflict happens, after everything ends, you know, it's going to end with them actually being at the academia, at the school, you know, maybe for like, I assume this would go on for like a few months, so maybe just like 3 or 4 episodes of anime, maybe half a season, 6 episodes. It would be interesting to see. I doubt it would be like a full 12 episode arc worth of stuff. For those of you guys who don't know, usually anime, when they adapt manga, usually what happens is it's between 2 and 3 chapters of manga that they adapt in one episode of anime. So like things like with Frieren, that was like 2 manga chapters per episode. And then you have some shows like Girlfriend, which I think has gone up to like 4 chapters. You know, so it really depends on the length, but the average is about 2 or 3. And then sometimes you get anomalies where if you have a really long chapter, that'll be one episode. Sometimes if you have a bunch of really short chapters, you can do like 4, you know? So that's why I use that metric to say like, if it's like 12 episodes of anime, then, you know, that would be, let's say, you know, multiply that by 2. That'd be 24 chapters at least. So I doubt it's going to be something that long. I doubt this is going to go on for another 24 weeks. That's the end of the year. Like that's another half of the year. So I doubt it's going to do that, but it could go for maybe like 10 chapters, 12 chapters, something like that. And then My Hero Academia and Jujutsu Kaisen are both set to end in 2024, which is a good segue to Jujutsu Kaisen going on hiatus. Now, this is serious, though, because the author, Gege Akutami, is like suddenly like ill for like, I was about to say for no reason, but that's not the right word. Just out of nowhere. So this also comes to us from CBR. Following the release of Chapter 262, Jujutsu Kaisen manga is now entering a hiatus. The abrupt pause in publication is caused by the sudden illness of Gege Akutami's author and illustrator of Jujutsu Kaisen series. Weekly Shonen Jump magazine, get out of my face, made the announcement regarding Akutami's health, which was picked up by Shonen Jump news account on X, formerly Twitter. Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 29 will mark the beginning of Jujutsu Kaisen's 2-week break, which should end with the release of Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 31. No further information on Akutami's health was released to the public, although the relatively brief hiatus suggests that he's expected to make a recovery pretty soon. And like they say, with this being Weekly Shonen Jump, in case you guys don't read this, if you guys are people who read this on a different thing, or if you are, doing inappropriate, illegal things, this means that this is only going to be 2 to 3 weeks. So moving on, Jujutsu Kaisen will be on break. Okay, there's a tweet. Unfortunately, the sudden 2-week delay comes at a pivotal moment in the series. A fan favorite character has that's where we get into spoilers. Okay, I know what character they're talking about simply because of a leak, and it looks like they kind of give details down here. So if you want to read more of this, you can check out the CBR article yourself. But for the anime onlys out there, I'm gonna protect y'all and save y'all from this. But yeah, so we're our hearts are with Gege Akutami. We hope that he makes a safe and speedy recovery, and that he can get back to Jujutsu Kaisen as soon as possible and in good health. Even like I know that sometimes manga authors are crazy, like Oda from One Piece is like textbook example of how crazy manga authors can be. So I hope that he fully recovers before he gets back to work, because being a manga author is very, very draining, and that would be really sucky if he ended up like, in some other condition because he didn't fully recover and then immediately got back to freaking, work. But anyways, My Hero Academia and Jujutsu Kaisen are both scheduled to end this year. My Hero Academia entered its epilogue, and Jujutsu Kaisen is going on a hiatus for the next couple weeks. It's just a crazy time to be alive. Can you imagine after this year, My Hero Academia and Jujutsu Kaisen will both be over? Like, Attack on Titan just ended. Like, what is going on? And then our last thing is something that I think is cool. You guys might not care, but I want to talk about it. And it comes to us again from Anime Trending. So you know what that means. It's time that I scooch on over to there. And they say Anime NYC and Japan Society hosts the first American Manga Awards on August 22nd. So usually the biggest manga awards that we think of is like the Kodansha Manga Awards, which I think I could be wrong, are primarily just like announced online. But it sounds like this is going to be like an actual event that, I don't know, like it might be streamed. I don't know. But I think this could be really, really cool and could be really, really interesting. Here you go. Anime NYC and Japan Society have announced the launch of the first ever American Manga Awards, set to take place on August 22nd, 2024 at the Japan Society in New York City, right before this year's Anime NYC convention. The inaugural Manga Awards will celebrate the outstanding achievements of professionals in the world of Japanese comics who have made significant contributions to manga's popularity both in North America and in Japan. Then here's like their little graphic. And then the American Manga Awards will feature multiple categories, including Best New Manga, Best Continuing Manga Series, Best Translation, which I don't know if this is the best time to do that, considering everything that's going on with AI translations. Like, we just had a statement come out from the Japanese Association of Translators, which is a real thing, the JAT, and at least I believe that's their name. They just slammed in a big old statement AI manga translations becoming more and more of a thing, and people and humans getting laid off. So this might not be the best time to introduce this category, but maybe they'll disqualify AI translations. I mean, that'd be cool. Be kind of based. Best lettering, best publication design, best new edition of classic manga, Mangaka Hall of Fame, and Manga Publishing Hall of Fame. It's going to be interesting to see what these last two in particular are about. I don't like, are they saying like, so like Mangaka Hall of Fame, like some author's going to be put into this new America Manga Awards Hall of Fame thing, and then that's going to be a thing that's going to start, and then the same thing with Publishing Hall of Fame. Is that like the publisher gets the award, or does the author get the award? Like, I'm going to need a little more clarification on some of these. And then nominees will be selected by a panel of subject matter experts and luminaries in the world of Japanese comics. Good. Best translation nominees will be selected by translators and authors, which is good. I hope that they would, choose the right thing. It looks like, okay, so this is all good. In addition, the American Manga Awards Hall of Fame will honor Japanese manga creators and manga publishing professionals that have made significant contributions to the growth and popularity of manga in America. The first recipient will be Frederick L. Schott, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, translator and author of Manga, The World of Japanese Comics, one of the first books in English that explored manga's history, creativity, and legendary creators. And the American Manga Awards Planning Committee is led by manga industry veteran Deb Aoki, comics journalist and Publishers Weekly, and Comics Beat and co-host of the Manga Splaining podcast. The ceremony will be hosted by accomplished author, translator, and presenter Matt Alt. So it looks like I'm hoping that there is like a stream here. More information and announcements on the awards will be available on the Twitter. Okay, great. So I think that this is cool. You guys might not care. I know that most, if not all of you, are primarily anime-only people, which is fine. For the most part, I am too. Usually, anime will be my gateway into a manga. Like, I'll like watch an anime, and then I will like I can't wait in between episodes or in between seasons or something, and I'll start the manga, and then I'll just become a manga only, and then I might not ever go back to the anime. So anime is usually my gateway drug into that, but I'm also trying to make it a habit more to check out manga for myself before I see them as anime, but it's just hard, covering everything, and life's just been busy, and everything like that, to now like look into different manga and read them. It's a whole ordeal. I'm trying to read One Piece, it's a whole thing. I'm trying to finish Girlfriend, it's not that long, but I've just been so busy that I just haven't had a chance to read it. But anyways, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. How much y'all want to bet that continuing manga series is going to go to free run? Would not be surprised. But maybe they'll give it to something else. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what is going on here. I just thought this was cool and I wanted to share it. But anyways, we're going to move on to the audience rankings of this past week. And because I'm filming this on a Saturday, and it's not Sunday yet, or I guess it is Sunday, but it's Sunday really, really early in the morning. So the awards or the rankings haven't come out yet. We're only going to be talking about the anime corner ones. So if I can get back over here, and I can now move myself, boink, over here. Okay, that's even worse. I'm going to move myself. Wait, no. Hold on. Wait, I'll fix it. Bam. I'm so cool. Okay, so at number 1, Konosuba Season 3. Went up 3 spots to number 1. Data Life 5 is at number 2. Mushoku Tensei Season 2 Part 2 is at number 3. Go Go Loser Ranger at number 4. Windbreaker at number 5. Demon Slayer at number 6. Chillin' in Another World at number 7. Kaiju number 8 at number 8. Black Butler at number 9. And Delicious Dungeon at number 10. Speaking of Demon Slayer, I heard this interesting... it was a rumor on Twitter. And I don't know how I feel about it. I don't think. Welcome to Texas, y'all. I don't think I like it. And I was talking about it with my brother, who's finished Demon Slayer, and he was mixed on it. But apparently, there is a rumor that the Hashira training arc of Demon Slayer, the arc that's currently airing right now, will be the final season of Demon Slayer. Not that they're ending it, but that they will stop doing a TV show and they will finish the series out in 3 films, like a trilogy of films that would be released year after year for the next 3 years starting next year. I don't know how I feel about this rumor. I don't think I really like it, but it would be interesting to hear your thoughts. I don't take it with like any seriousness because it was written by like one person, and it had a few thousand likes, and that's why it had enough to show up on my feed. So that's just why, but I don't think it's anything serious. It's not from like one of those really good leakers, who's like right on a lot of stuff. But anyways, we're going to move on into these comments, and we only have one comment from this last episode, and that is from Eli Craig, who said, I finished watching Death Note this week. I assume you're talking about the original series. I really loved the first half, but the rest of the show was underwhelming. But the ending wasn't too bad. What are your thoughts on Death Note? Death Note is a classic. It's a staple of not only the genre that it's in for anime, but just of anime. Like it's like one of the things. That'd be like, yo, Israel, what are your thoughts on, like, I don't know, like 2001: A Space Odyssey, something like that. It's like, bro, it's a staple. Like it's like one of the things. Like even if you don't like it, like you have to recognize its significance. So I recognize its significance, but also I really like Death Note. I've seen it. Have I seen it 2 times? Have I seen it more? I think I've seen it like 2.5 times because I've seen the first half of the show a lot, like 3 times, I think. And I think I've seen the second half once and then watched a couple episodes again. So it's kind of all over the place. But I'm with you. I think most people feel that there's something that happens. I won't spoil it because it's one of the best, like, for lack of a better term, twists in all of anime. But there's something that happens about halfway through the show. And then after that point, not that the show becomes bad, but it goes from like a 8, 9, 10 out of 10 anime to suddenly like a 6, 6.5, 7 at its best anime. until you get to like the final 3 episodes, and then it starts to kind of ramp back up, and then you end at like an 8 out of 10 episode. So I think that's the whiplash, is just kind of suddenly happens. Like the quality dip is so stark because of what they do. Like they kind of write themselves into a corner, and they're only allowed to do certain things, and those things just aren't as interesting as what was before, at least in my opinion, and it seems like in a lot of people's opinion. But overall, I like the show. I can't think of an episode that I dislike, but at the same time, I can't really think of many episodes, if at all any, in the second half of the show that I outright love. But it's a staple. I still love the show overall, and yeah, the ending, I know some people don't like the ending. I really like the ending, and it's also different from the manga ending. So if you really liked it, I would recommend like maybe starting like a few chapters from the end of the manga and reading that, because the manga ends in a little bit of a different way, and it's a lot more fun. At least I remember. I don't remember the anime adapting that part, but anyways, I think that that's pretty cool. But anyways, guys, that's it. Thank you, Eli Craig, for the one comment. But anyways, that does it for this episode of the Otaku Experience. I want to thank you guys so much for watching and or listening on the new podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to the show rather than watch it, or maybe you just can't have the show open on a YouTube video or something when the show comes out, you can listen to it on the Otaku Experience podcast on Spotify. And hey, if you want to keep it with me outside of this show, you can subscribe to me on my main YouTube channel, Kingtanic, where I also make anime content but in a less serious and professional way. You can also follow me on Instagram at Kingtanic, or follow me on X at Kingtanic Israel. And if you're new to the Burnettwork, consider sticking around. We have some great shows for you to watch every week, most of which are hosted by the one, the only, Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett. Love that guy. He was just streaming. I think he's still streaming while I'm filming this. The Otaku Experience is the anime non-news show. We talk about the current goings on in the anime and the manga industry with our very uneducated opinions, hosted by me every week only on the Burnettwork, or at least, I try my best. And with all that being said, guys, this episode comes to a close. I will see you all next time.